everyone. Let's fix this a little bit, and then we'll whatever. You can hear me. Um, Good to have you all. Thank you all for hanging out. We got Lone Vaquero hanging out, Cecil over on YouTube, Engineer Everything, Flying High. Everybody that's here hanging out on today's stream, appreciate it. Today we're going to be taking that computer right there and upgrading some parts. Right now, it currently has a all three, yes, many of you. We are out to the internet. The possibilities are endless with how many people can actually come and watch. Right, right. Currently, it has. Well, yeah, I speak Spanish. Currently, it has an i7 4790K, and we recently upgraded to an RTX 2080 from a 980 Ti. And it's funny that that's the 980 Ti that was in it, the GPU that's right there. Olga in the house as well. And so we tried playing Battlefield 6 on it during the open beta, and yes, I got it to play even on a 4th gen Intel CPU, and I got it to run at 50 to 60, 70-ish FPS at 1080p, and it was okay, but it's time. It's time for an upgrade. And that upgrade is a Ryzen 5 5600 CPU, and the with RAM I already had on hand, so 32 gigs of DDR4. We have 3200 to go with that one, and we have an MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max. So that has been prepared. So we're just going to be swapping parts. It already boots up and tested. I have it on my test bench right here. We'll be pulling it up off the test bench on the table back there once we get to that step. And before we get to that point though, let's go on over to the desktop scene here. I'm going to make a command for you all. So the command is going to be !build upgrading system from i7 4790K and 16 gigabyte RAM to Ryzen 5 5600, 32 gigabyte DDR4 3200, and MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon. Yeah. Pro Carbon Max. System was recently upgraded from GTX 980 Ti to RTX 2080 maybe a month ago. Recently. So we're good there. Boom, activate command, and that's a command that we can execute in YouTube chat. So let's give that a try. !build, and there it is. So let's throw that over on the Twitch side as well. So I want to copy all that. I'm gonna go to Twitch side. Where's it at? Commands. We're already there. Custom commands. Add new command. !build. Do that and activate command. Does not like that. Activate. Do I already have a command named build? I do not. Does that command work on Twitch chat? I was supposed to be at Micro Center today to get parts for a new PC. Dad told me last minute that he ain't got the money to go to Dallas. Told him 2 weeks in advance. Damn. Can't count him. Fuck. I'm planning on possibly going on September 6th. And that way I want to check out some 3D printing stuff that there's a special event happening there. Does that command work over there? No. Oh, I do have !build. That's an old post too. Where's it at? Build. No. That does explain that. Build. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. So then we just go here and change it to that. Done. And now we do !build on Twitch chat. Come boom. And now we are all set on the different chats. You love to see it. We'll move that over. Right. 4790K. Holy moly, that new Ryzen is going to push your FPS into the hundreds at least, right? Not that the 4790K was a bad CPU. It just it's at this point it's just outdated. And I even had it running at 4.4, 4.5 gigahertz all core. Great CPU, but it's just it's time. And the cool thing is, if you guys follow other tech YouTubers and know of a Mr. Paul's Hardware, um, well, the motherboard that's in this came from him. I'm actually gonna tag him on that real quick. Um, actually, yeah, I didn't get a chance to post to Twitter, so let's run a post over there. Time to retire the the CPU, motherboard, and RAM from this PC and upgrade it to better stuff. Doing it live right now. Now on stream. Links and replies below. Sorry, Paul's Hardware. What the? Did he delete his Twitter? Oh, he's Paul Hardware. Right? Yeah, there it is. He's Paul Hardware. Paul's Hardware. But it's time. Time for this Mobo to rest. I only got 4.2 on my chip, 4790K, 1080. Yeah, dude, that's such a combo, right? And you only got 4.2. That part sucks. I know that it's been able to get to this one can hold. Well, 4.2 is even actually lower than the single core Max Turbo. That's crazy. Because Max Turbo is supposed to be 4.4. Intel Arc 4790K. Look at yeah. Up to 4.4 gigahertz right there. So it should be able to get to 4.4, at least on one or two cores, but maybe it's because you're pushing all core and that was changing it. And yeah, so it was great for its time. Even the 5000 series Ryzen is getting a little old, but it still got some bite. Active game on 5600X and can't complain at all. Perfect. We're putting in a 5600, so you know what it's like. And I got my little brother going on a Ryzen 7 5700X 3D not too long ago. We covered that in a video as well. And it made his FPS go up a little bit, very minor, but the big deal with that is that his minimums, oh, everything is so much more stable and smooth. And that's worth its weight in gold when it comes to gaming too. Let's finish this tweet. Okay. And I will use the thumbnail that I created a few minutes ago. Live TN PC rebuild stream. PC building, PCMR. Freaking hashtags. The life of a content creator. Okay, we go here. Nope. We go here. Yes. Those two. Here. Switch. And then the other one. Two. How are my stats holding up? How are my stats holding up? Yeah, no drop frames. Finally. Ugh. My internet had been kind of not great for a good while. So now I'm happy that it's stable. Let's hope it stays that way. Oh, actually, I needed that page up. We'll go there. There. Sweet. Let's see. YouTube streams rock. Kryptonic in the house. What's up, buddy? I forgot to set my my video settings properly because for the YouTube side of the stream. So unfortunately, all you guys get for the rest of this stream is 720p. My apologies. Oh no! Wow, that was loud. It doesn't. It doesn't look bright to you guys, but it's bright. Trust me. It's like a 200-watt bulb, but I have it pointed to bounce the light away, and it goes this way. It's just way too much of it pointed at me. Wow! Hit me with that flashbang. Oh, Jay's here too. Oh boy. Will Smith, everybody. Don Vaquero's dropping one in too. He's on his way. Will Smith is on his way.
Oh, that's hot.
What's your thoughts on the 5070? Get it cheap enough and it's good. Solomon has one, my little brother. He's got a 5070. His build, he loves it. It's a solid GPU, but don't spend more than 550. I mean, I understand that you can't get it really for less than 550, but it exponentially loses value past that point. And to be honest, runs so much better. It's not even that it's actually 720p. It's just I usually stream at 900p, and Twitch can do it, but YouTube can't. So YouTube is turning my 900p stream into a 720p stream, and I still have it on 60 FPS, like I'm gonna play video games on stream. Oops, it's the setting I always forget when I multi-stream, but whatever. 600. Yeah. It's a strong GPU. Don't get me wrong, but when you have freaking Radeons, being able to do so much more with the money that you pay for them in that ballpark, and it's different. Getting a 5070 Ti 16, one of the OC models, right on. If that's what you're after. Sick. Let's see. Cartonic got a 3060 Ti for $140. It's totally okay. 1080p. 9060 XT, says J Echo. What's up, dude? So let's we have some disassembly to do. So let's disassemble some things, my friends. Let's get up to the other config. Mic check. Yeah, so I don't really have my chats configured over here the same as I have it over there, but okay. Let's see if I can figure something out. I want to bring up multi-chat over here so I can see all the chats here so I don't have to keep looking that way. I do see Engineer Everything said still gaming on a 3070 and 1440p. It's okay-ish. Yeah. How do you feel about the VRAM argument then? I'm curious of your thoughts on that. Cecil says sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Chat over under Chris losing another GPU. I can't lose the GPU. It's already in the computer. That's the Festizio 54 months. Find the CPU at. So a week ago on stream, I set off on looking for a CPU for this system that I know I had, and I know I have it, but I couldn't find it until I looked on eBay, and then I found it. It cost me some money, but I found it on eBay. We're going with that. Oh, good. Okay, so I can just log into it here. Ooh, this is going to be super cool. I can get multi-chat on my phone. And that way I don't need to have multiple devices over here. 447906. I shouldn't have said that out loud. It's okay, I already used the code. Okay. No. Close that panel. Not reset. Cancel. Close this panel. Remove panel. Remove panel. Remove panel. Remove panel. Dismiss that. Multi-chat is now on my phone. Type some stuff, my friends. I might need to like mess with the zoom and things like that. Or font size. I need to make that bigger. Some stuff. Oh, this is great. This is great. I love it. I love it. All right, sweet. Look at that. I might need to make the screen stay on, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's see. I haven't really seen a huge issue with the games I play. I've found that the 30 series GPUs need to be repaced every couple of years to keep it stable. Was this view always this wide? Not always. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. The thing is, when I do this angle, I set it up for every stream every time. So sometimes the camera is in a different position. Sometimes it's closer, sometimes it's farther. It's kind of whatever I feel looks good in that moment. So it is generally this, but not always this. Ryu has seen a lot of this angle. Care to comment, good sir? Brightness, smart screen, sleep. Mm, why is there no screen time? There's no option to not do the screen timeout. What the heck? Okay, maybe if I do that. There isn't a never. Okay, maybe it's in the developer options on my phone, and I can just do. I have the thing where if it's charging, it should stay developer, stay lit. Developer options. Okay, cool. Stay awake. Screen will never sleep while charging. Perfect. So now that I have it plugged in like that, with the charger plugged into it, then we're good. So let me change my other setting back. Display. I had smart screen on. Now I'm turning smart screen off. Let's bring you guys back. There we are. I've seen all your angles, says Ryu. They just seem to run quite hot compared to every other generation, so yeah, repacing is a must. Yeah, I suppose, but look into Thermal Grizzly Duranaut. Now, it's supposed to be more of a longer lasting, higher durability thermal paste, so maybe that might be the right case for that usage scenario. You got to turn it off a battery saver too. Ooh, sorry about that, buddy. But we don't need battery saver now. So So this is the heart of the builds, just like Ryu Dragon and the heart of the cards. This is the heart of the build, and I was testing it on my 3D printed test bench. I have a video where I go over this thing. So if you want to know more about this 3D printed test bench, let me know. We'll link that to you guys. But let's unmount this thing. That's what I've got to do now. You do want to know more? Boy, do I have a video for you. I downloaded a case. Right. It's posted for you guys. That's the video that I made about this, and yeah, it is quite nice. My favorite part about it is that it is incredibly compact. It is such a space saving design. I love it. Let's do it. Take this GPU out. And I like this GPU because it doesn't need additional power. You just plug it in. It's like the exactly what you need for test benches. Hmm, fine. No problem, MD. What's cool is that the person who designed this 3D print ended up popping into the comments on that video. So that was neat to see. Okay, let's unmount you. We'll probably leave the top screws. Wow, that fan. I got you. Okay, I have to remember where these screws go because when I put the standoffs in, I didn't realize the standoffs all have different threads. And so we go to this. This is my LTT precision screwdriver kit, personalized even. Look at the bottom camera in the corner. Hell yeah. That is so cool. That's in the middle, I think. So this is top left. Where else do I have screws in this thing? There it is. You know what? I'll do the bottom one first. I'm dumb. I should probably unplug the power. I'm going to plug that screw back in so I have some stability here. I should unplug the power cables. Any fans of Zach's Tech Turf for Nerd on a Budget in here? ATX 24 pin can be such a pain to unplug. Come on. Haven't actually heard of him. Which one? Nerd on a Budget or Zach's Tech Turf? Or both? I've collabed in videos with both those guys, but yeah, I mean, I can't expect everybody to watch every video. So I'm just throwing it out there in case they're much bigger creators. So odds are people know more of them than me. Oh, both? Okay, cool. So they're friends. I've met both of them. I've hung out with both of them, collabed with them in other videos. And the big channel, the Big Boy Tech channel, Linus Tech Tips, invited them and a couple other creators, one named Tech Joyce and the other one is Macho Nacho Productions, to go see who can build the best PC under $1,000. Now, I knew it was going to probably be between Danny and Zach, but if we were playing by Price is Right rules, Danny won by default. He stayed under the budget. Everybody else went over. And in the end, sorry to spoil the video. Well, not really spoiling this. Danny and Zach, the homies, they did the best. They did the best. I hadn't really heard of Tech Choice or Macho Nacho Productions, if I'm being honest. I thought Tech Choice was like couple 100,000 in terms of like popularity, and then I went and looked up her channel, like 2.2 million subscribers. She's huge. Come on, 24 pin. Gotcha. Okay, let's now I can take that out. I stick with you, Paul's Hardware and Bitwit, though he doesn't do a whole lot these days. Still great to support him, and always cool to see some of the stuff that he's doing right now. It's far more tech entertainment with a little bit of technical, as opposed to Paul, who's pretty much all tech hardware, technical. With he writes in a way that is entertaining though, so that's cool. Doesn't do a whole lot these days because she's a chick that does tech. Ryu is not incorrect, but also cars. That's like one of the rare like tech car content creators. Probably like from what I could tell, it was more like 60-70% cars, and then the rest of it's PC hardware. And cars, admittedly, is a far more broadly acceptable niche than PC alone. I think we can all agree on that too. There's another screw in here. I wasn't paying attention. Greg Saladar does both as well, but he does more. He even started his own car channel now though. He's not. Greg isn't. I've also met with Greg. Cool dude. But he's also not like mixing it as much. He has in the past, but it looks like he's wanting to go more into cars, and thus he created his own car channel. I need to find that screw because that was specific. I played Minecraft with Greg. See, Ryu knows. Yeah, Greg's a cool dude too. So that screw's gone into the ether. I have another one though. I have more. I have platito. Let's see if this goes. I always put the screws for the test bench back. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I don't know why that one was in there. That one looks like it's another fat thread boy. Let's put you. No, you're not. You sure look like it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What do you think of Mobo's with ATX power connector on the back? I kind of like that. I don't mind it at all. I like them traditional. I like them. What is it? BTF back to front. Yeah. I'm glad it's just something different, and if it can be done without making prices stupid or anything like that, then more power to the designers and everybody. I've seen some builds of them. They look so clean. Yes, exactly. And what I think can make that like a thing that's even better. Nope, that's the wrong screw. Optimum Tech did a video a long time ago now at this point where he talked about how he 3D printed custom cooling ducts inside his case, and those cooling ducts made it so much better. Now, basically, when you do that, though, your case is going to just look like it has a bunch of ducting inside of it. And that in of itself can look clean too, but you're not going to be seeing the parts individually normally. Vaquero is back. So, if in a matter of speaking, that way is also clean. And if you're into that, that is also a thing that I think BTF is going to be very conducive to. Sweet. Okay. Have seen a Tech 505 custom fan ducts? I have not, but is that what I'm thinking? Is Tech 505 a website or a person that makes custom fan ducts for specific cases and specific coolers? Because that was probably where it was going to be heading to. Ducting and for cooling features is actually pretty cool. Yeah. Ha ha. What you did there, I see it. Oh, right. I forgot I don't like this using this screwdriver for these, but I'm just loosening them. 50-50, half of people like it, half people don't. Oh, so it's not that. What is it though? I haven't seen it, so give me a TLDR on that. Okay. I'll post in Discord. Okay. Then I'll go to look at it after we're done with the builds, and we'll close out with that. Either way, I'll react to it in Discord. I saw someone on YouTube do it and kind of want to do it too, right? You probably saw Optimum Tech because probably is the one I'm talking about. That's where I really seen it. The ducting, 3D printed ducting. Okay. Stock cooler, thank you for serving your purpose. What do you guys think of my application that I did for a temporary stock cooler? So I got this Ryzen 5 5600 on eBay for $95 before tax and shipping. But shipping was $3. For as many as free shipping items that are on eBay, this tiny little thing didn't have free shipping. That's what I get for not being able to find the CPU that I know that I have that was supposed to go in this, but this will work better. You not for this one, and I probably still won't use the spread method on this one with that when I put the cooler that's supposed to go on it. But I have done it for my water cooled parts, my main computer, and if I do GPUs as well. If I repaste GPUs, I'll probably do spread method and stuff like that. But I go back and forth. I don't get into too crazy with it though. Okay. That is now ready to get its scythe mounting hardware back on it. Do you do dot or cross? On GPUs, I do asterisk. But if I'm gonna keep the air cooled, um, yes, okay. If it's going to be water cooled, I will manually spread it with the little mini spatula method. Put in video link for whenever. Oh, thank you, sir. Why? What do you guys do? You do X? I like X more now, especially because like CCDs are located in a not in the center of the CPU. And I'll show you guys what my solution is to that. I'm probably in this one going to do I'll call it modified dot or maybe even just Ryzen dot because I only do this on Ryzen's. Not everybody likes it. Is what it is. Hasn't failed me yet. Well, for me, nothing. But when I get parts, I'll just cross X. Nice. Could do like a tech ingredient to make a thermal paste out of epoxy. You never get the cooler off again, but there'd be no doubt about voids. Well, there's also like if you're gonna do that, you might as well get one of those systems that has the CPU integrated in it already. Like I believe there's an Ryzen 9 7945HX micro ATX motherboard, soldered soldered CPU. You'll never need to worry about having to take it off. That's just gonna live with that cooler forever. But yeah, if you wanted to change coolers to switch the format of whatever that build is, doesn't you're doomed. You're doomed. I just use the PDAB method and let the cooler mush out the paste. See, I do that still with Ryzen's, but like as CPUs move away from being square shaped, to me that seems to not be the trick anymore. But even with Ryzen's, I will still do something else, and we'll get to that. I have to remove the cooler from what's in there first to bring it out here to mount it here before I then import this into the computer. So give me a few minutes and I'll show you what I do. My Ryzen dot method. If there's any guesses as to what you think I mean by Ryzen dot method, let me know. Ryu knows what I'm talking about, but I don't know if he likes it or not. Here, Wi-Fi antenna, magnetic, nice. Okay, let's scooch over here. Three dots in a row. It will be a mystery until I show it to you guys. Okay, here's the build. Here's the guts. There's a EVGA RTX 2080. We have a Wi-Fi card. That's not going to make the transfer because the motherboard we bought has Wi-Fi built into it. But this will get, it'll find another home. But I want to get the cooler off before we go any further. So let's do that real quick. Fan clips. My hand doesn't fit. Ryu, not the fans again. Ugh. There we go. Well, might as well take the GPU out. It's just getting in the way. Oh, new problem. I won't be able to reach under to hit the button for the GPU. So, Ay. Ha. Now I can hit the button to release the GPU. Ha ha. As a matter of fact, I don't even need to take the GPU out yet. Ha ha. Cool thing about Scythe, long screwdriver. This is exactly what this is for. They included this when I got this cooler. So we come full circle here. My background suppression is crazy. Is that good? Do you mean that in a good way? Okay, let's clean this off. Cool thing now is that because this is a different mounting mechanism, I don't need to transplant that. So let's bring this back here. Still wet. Good thermal paste. Yeah, the fan on, the AC. Depends on if it's good to you means not being able to hear anything that isn't directly next to the mic. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't even have to be directly next to the mic. It's that I have it set up where it drowns out anything that isn't human voices. Because I can move away from the microphone. I'll go stand by the door. And then if I yell, it'll catch me, but it still won't catch other stuff. Go out there. You can still hear me. Yeah, I know that caught me. It just sounded distant. But if I do this, which is not human sounds, it might be catching it. You might hear it in the background of my voice. It might, like, or I can clap. Good old RTX noise suppression technology. And the dog is howling. Interesting, right? But the main reason I use it is because it numbs out really minor background noise. The AC, the ceiling fan, that sort of stuff. You won't hear it. Even hitting the table, you don't really it doesn't really come through that well. And this is a condenser microphone. These, without any noise suppression, sound terrible if a room isn't perfectly treated. And NVIDIA noise suppression makes that kind of a moot point. It's whatever. It's like deafening silence, right? It's trippy. But it's so effective. It is so effective. Okay, thermal paste time. Trusty MX4, my friends. Trust. I'd run background music, but nowadays any kind of freaking background music I play will get copyright or content ID match or anything like that. So if the deafening silence bothers you guys, say something in chat. I'll probably throw on UFD music or something and see if I can play that quietly. If you want just a little bit of, I don't know, some background ambience. Here we go with the thermal paste. Mobo on the bare table hurts my soul. It's wood. I could do that on wood. Somebody got really mad that I staged the CPU. Even if it's wood, it'll be fine. Never had an issue. But yeah, this is normal. This is fine. It's fine. But I had put down the Ryzen on a table, pins down on my wood table, and it was for demonstration purposes for the video. So it's like it was pinned down to show you guys, and then I pick it up and put it in the socket, so I don't have to flip it or do anything with it. And people were one guy flipped the hell out. You shouldn't be touching computers if that's how you're setting down your CPU. Guy, the pins on these old Ryzens are way tougher than you think. And this is a wood table. But I get it because it does this and it could bend and warp depending on how you put things on. I mean, here, will this help? Aha. I didn't like this because it didn't look good on the camera. It's just different things when you're a content creator that you kind of have to do that don't look good. They don't make sense for non-creators that also build. So let me show you closer what the thermal paste application is. And now that's going to blow away. And that's what I call Ryzen dot. So I put these, and I was close to center. I think I missed the center by a little bit. But the big dot in the center and then leftover little dots pretty much on top of the CCDs, which is right below center. I think it's that. I think it's that way on a Ryzen. I think I've always done it that way. And when it spreads, you get a better spread overall on the CPU. But now that I think about it, coolers shift down, not. Damn it! I've been doing it wrong. Well, not wrong. I mean, it's still gonna spread and cover, so it'll be fine. But I see my issue now. What does matter? I was close. Not three dots in a row, but three dots. Yeah, you were very close. That was a great guess. So we're gonna do like this. Yep, that's the way. Little bit on one side, little bit on the other. Why an air cooler? Any specific reason? I already had it. Also, it's a Ryzen 5. And this is a 6 heat pipe air cooler. It's a big chunky boy. So it'll do fine on a 65-watt Ryzen 5. And also, I don't have to buy extra parts this way. I already had the mounting hardware, already had the cooler. It's going to work great. Might as well. Also, it's going in my nephew's PC, so that's not immediately in front of me at all times. So if something were to go wrong, they would have to wait for me to fix it. And an AIO cooler, as reliable as they can be, is still less reliable than an air cooler. Sweet. Let's one more time. Yeah, that's tight. Air coolers do just as good as integrated water cooling for regular gaming, and you don't have to worry about water. Yeah, more or less what I said. Because, yeah, this is going to absolutely not be any different in terms of performance and cooling than an AIO because of the class of CPU that it is and how overbuilt as an air cooler that it is. Tight. Okay, so now we continue with pulling stuff out of that computer over there. Let's move this off to the side. Oh, cheap viewers, Streamboo. Give me some subs and maybe I'll go check your website. Huh? Huh? Dan in the house. What's up, dude? Oh yeah, it's gonna catch a ban, but hey, if you throw some subs my way before he gets the ban, I'll take it. Some Twitch subs. Want to see a trick so I can reach into this better? Want to see it be even funnier? Watch the camera in the corner, the overhead camera. This one right here I'm pointing at. When I move the desk up and down in relation to the main camera. Doesn't that trip you guys out? Like it makes sense why it happens the way that it does, but it still trips me out. Not hearing the clanking of the case, that too. I actually don't need to undo any cable management. I just need to get the stuff in here. Okay. Also, the auto zoom on the top down. It's not auto zoom. It's nothing. Nothing's happening with it. What is actually happening is because that camera is mounted to the table. The camera's position does not change in relation to the table's height. It is in the same place no matter if the table is high or low. Yeah, it's mounted. So I have arms that clamp to the table up and around. Let me show you guys. I have an overhead camera angle I can show you. Your B key is dying. Oh no. Put a little alcohol on a Q-tip, pop the key off, and maybe clean it out a little bit and see if that helps. It makes it weird still. It is still weird to see because there is a camera seeing the height change, and then there's another camera where the height change does nothing to it. Keith Mania. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, I wanted a config with the camera that I wouldn't have to touch. I can just mount and move on. That's the config. Because sometimes if I don't feel like setting up that camera, the main camera, I can just turn on the stream where I switch to this camera, right? And then you look at me through the overhead camera that is also fixed on a ledge up there. And here we are. Like I don't have to fiddle with the my Canon that I use over there. Elite Ranger, still using NDI. Not in this configuration here. However, I still use NDI for my podcast streams with an OBSBot tail air in the other room. So if you're here watching, or if you've seen any of our podcast streams or podcast VODs, then those ones, whenever my friend, I have a button set up where he pushes the button and it turns his microphone on and turns the NDI camera on, then that's how that one works. No cables. FBI time. But also, if you were here last week on our weekly stream here on Twitch as well, because I do also stream more often to Twitch than to YouTube, just FYI for you YouTube guys, I will pop NDI on my phone and walk around the house. So I will go. There was like an impromptu house tour that happened. Every drawer got looked at. Everything on the wall got zoomed in on. I was walking around looking for stuff. Everybody got to see everything. And I was just walking with the camera. Turn the mic on. I can talk to everybody with it too. So NDI is going to always be a part of my configuration. So just sometimes it won't be a main use. It'll just be like a secondary use thing. It depends. Depends on the 2080. None of those are prone to failure. Yeah, buddy. These are the good ones right here. EVGA. Oh, EVGA. You live on because 2080 is still a good GPU. Someone could make a 3D render of your home. Not exactly. It was everything was very close up, but a 3D render of this office, yeah, maybe. I would when I was walking around doing that, and anywhere that I didn't want to be seen, I would point the camera down at the floor. Lights were off until I needed them on, that sort of thing. So it was still very like they got to see my racks in my garage. This room is always getting angles and shots and stuff like that, and that was about it. I'm gonna get a bottle of water real quick. Excuse me, guys. Good? Are we good? Everybody still here? Looks like the stream had a bit of a hiccup. My bitrate had a bit of a hiccup. Refresh if you need to. Welcome back, he says. Okay, good. So to answer your question, Than, we're about to swap over the motherboard. I need to just get it ready. First time in a long time I saw that. Rocking and rolling? Hell yeah. All right. But I looked over and I was like, huh, I have a feeling. And I looked and I saw my live go to reconnecting. OBS just dropped its network connection. But in the past where it dropped it and never came back, this one came back. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll push it up a little bit. This power supply right here, this is back from when Rosewell used to make good power supplies. This is the Newegg's in-house brand, and I'm sure they've made good ones since then, but this power supply lived with an AMD FX CPU configuration. Then it lived with this configuration. which at first was the 4790K with the 980 Ti. Then it was the 4790K with the 2080. And now it's going to be living with the Ryzen 5 5600 and a 2080 configuration. This is a Rosewell Green Series 600 watt, 630 watt PSU. It says peak power 730 watt, but 630 watt is where it's at. It's 80 plus bronze. This is from like, I don't know, 2014. This thing is chugging along. Keith, haven't seen a Rosewell in a long time, right? Because they haven't been good PSUs in a long time, as far as I'm aware. The last Rosewell that I got was for my test bench that I got from Christopher Yee. He has sold me the power supply, and it was DOA. He had got it, and then he never opened it, never used it. It just sat. And so when I visited one time with him a few years back, he sold me some stuff, and I bought that power supply because I needed one for the test bench. It was like a Rosewell Quark 1000 watt or something like that. Balsonic, yeah, what's up? And yeah, I go to plug it in. Finally, like I couldn't use it at the time. I couldn't demonstrate to check it or whatever. I trusted the guy, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I get home and I plug it in, nothing. No click, nothing. Just dead. Yeah. DED, dead. When I let him know, he just bought me a new one and sent it to my house. So he took care of it. Leaked out all the magic juice. It didn't even have any magic juice in it, or it leaked out before it even ever got to me. Just weird, man. Solomon on his part compensating you. For sure. Cheers from Europe. What's up, Adam? Cheers as well. Uh, uh, cheers. Lizard. No lizard. Not here. Okay, so miscellaneous cables are now unplugged from this. Motherboard screws. Where am I going to put you? Where am I going to put you? Yep. It's 5 a.m. Here, but after night shift at work, I'm swapping my 5900X to 5950X. What kind of work do you do that the extra core? Either you got like a good deal on it, got it for free, or you do some serious shiznit with that thing then. Because I have a 5900X, I love it, and as a content creator that doesn't do very complicated shit, at least it does great. Like I don't edit in a way where I need hardcore system specs. I need good system specs, but I don't need hardcore system specs. 7900 XTX, he loves it. You ever try out the the carbon pads? I've thought about it because when I used to do a lot more hardware work, I definitely would have preferred that than to just go repeatedly go through thermal paste. And by the time that came out, I don't mess around with hardware, PC builds, and testing parts as much as I used to the point where I'd want that. But yeah, definitely if I get back to it, I'm 100% going to get those. So stream took a poop or something, didn't it? Yeah, yeah, a minute ago. It like completely dropped the connection and then reconnected. So we're back, I think. Opening a YouTube channel about baseball in Europe, and price tag for that swap was around. Oh yeah, dude. And you can even make your money back, especially for that, by selling the 5900X, or you make a secondary PC for editing in a different room, or to put somebody else to help you edit on. Like, great possibilities there. Turn to say I'd be going for the night. Well, thanks for hanging out, Vaquero, and I hope to catch you again soon. Have you gotten a chance to play Mafia yet? I never got into the Mafia games, so to answer your question, for unfortunately, no. I don't really have plans to get into it. My next single player game, once I get through Fallout New Vegas, is going to be Alan Wake 2, and then it's going to be finishing Fallout 4. I'll try to catch your next stream, but this is the first one I've seen you do since I found your channel. Oh, right on. Well, either way, yeah, I stream every week, most of the time, Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific on Twitch. Sometimes those will also have a stream on YouTube to talk about tech news. Not always. It all depends on scheduling. I do work a full time job as well. So this is so there's that. Um, but sometimes I also just randomly stream to Twitch at different times. The random streams never happen on YouTube. They're always on Twitch. YouTube streams I like to keep dedicated to tech, specific to tech, building, and news. But one of the guys in our streaming crew, he streams every day. So let me give him a shout out, give him a follow. Maybe you already follow him. I'm not sure. And you can constantly, I'm constantly in his chat as well. So I'm always there for questions as well. As a matter of fact, I was at his house today filming a video and assisting a little bit where he's going to be upgrading the air conditioning in his office, in his gaming studio room. I got the shout out going. Thank you, Balsonic. And he's getting a mini split AC installed, moving away from a window unit. Yeah, yeah, Balsonic, you got it. You got it. It's happening for real. It'll get finished tomorrow. Is he not live right now? He's usually live by now. All right, let's get this motherboard out of here. This motherboard was sold to me by Mr. Paul Hardware for $5. You have no idea when he's all like, hey, anybody want this Z97 motherboard for $5 at this like one fan event meetup that I went to? I'm like, me. I have a friend who has a non-overclockable 40, like a super cheap motherboard because that's all that was available at the time with the 4790K on it. Couldn't do anything with that. And then when this came up, I'm like, me. And I bought it from him, put it in my friend's build. He ran it for a few years, finally able to get more out of the 4790K. And then he upgraded and moved on, and it found its way back to me and into my nephew's PC build. Now, this one's moving on as well. Killed my guy's AC unit last LAN party. Oh man, I upgraded the one in my house. So I have a really good AC unit in this house, but I almost still want a mini split for this room because it's still like there's so much in here. Lights, computer, I have 3D printer, actually two computers running. One runs all the time. It's a little nuck. And then my main computer just dumps heat. Yeah, dude. A mini split just for this room would be pretty awesome. You've served us well. Let's move you on over here. 2021, I would have jumped on that. Had some Ethereum rigs going. That would have been perfect for. Ooh, yeah. Speaking of ETH, I need to check my holdings because all of that is pumped pretty well, and my I'm up on that. Okay, we can insert the motherboard now, but because this was Intel, there might be holes in different spots. Nope, we didn't use the Intel hole. Two, two, above, next to, corner, middle, corner. Yeah. Okay. Oh, oh. You guys almost let me do this. You almost let me get in there without the IO shield. What a travesty that would have been. It's such a weird IO shield config, too. All right, Balsonic. Thanks for hanging out. I tried to convince my wife to jump into Bitcoining when it was $10 a coin. Oh man, you were way ahead of the curve. That's unfortunate. But I mean, there's been so many pumps. You never would have known. You probably would have sold it all in 2017 during that, or right before that crash. Either way, there's been multiple waves. Nobody could have expected where it's at now. All the crypto guys would like to think like, I always knew it would go that high. Shut up. Okay, let's get this guy in. This is going to be interesting because I didn't really pull too many cables out to do this. Yeah, when it hit 45K cone, I would have sold so right? Exactly. Exactly my point. Can we get a big heat sink? Boom. This heat sink has 6 heat pipes. Bigger? Doesn't need to be bigger. Not on this computer. But I give this heat sink 6 booms. Boom. Boom. Just kidding. Rec, what time tomorrow? That's a huge heat sink. 9 a.m.? Okay. You think we'll be done before 11? I gotta get to church. What is the problem here? It's not lining up properly on the holes, but I think it's just because of how the IO shield is placed. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Maybe. What kind of arm is that you mic is attached to? This is Avermedia's, I forget the name of the arm, but it's Avermedia mic arm. And what's cool about this one is that it's long, so you could use it very well, but also it is dual use. I could have it like a regular arm like this, or use it like a low profile mic arm. Yeah, I think it's super cool that it could do that. Maybe he says. All right, let's get some screws in. Sure, everything lines up. Yeah. Do, 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 do. I have extra. Oh no, I don't have extra screw. I just there was one that I wasn't paying attention to. Reach the top corner. The top corner. There we go. Yes. It's tight. That one's tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything is nice and tweet. Rick knows what I'm talking about. Tweet. Ricky over on the YouTube. That's nice. Okay, let's plug some stuff in. Go. And have SSDs. Oh, I have a SSD and a hard drive in here. Let's see, what am I going to do about that? Because we are going to get rid of the hard drive. I don't want that in there no more. I'll stand it up and remove them. The SSD I might replace with the 512s because right now he has two 500 gig SSDs. Think of getting him another 500 on a 2.5 inch. So then the system is all SSD, all fast. Right now it has I think a 1 terabyte hard drive as a storage drive, and nobody wants that anymore. Let's get this fan back on. Well, actually, no, I'll put the fan back on. Oh, dang it. No. Fan clips. Don't do me like this. Okay, bottom fan clip is in. Perfect. It wasn't exactly centered, but the fan had to like seat There's a spot for it on the cooler that it seats properly into. And that did the trick. That's back on. We need to plug some more stuff back in. USB 3.0. Awesome. It's the 3.0 header is literally in the same spot. Front panel audio is usually in the same spot too, so we're good there. We looking good, Sistan. Thank you. CPU power. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so we have a couple of PWM. I may have missed it, but what is the case you're using? This is the Raid Max Magnus. We have a video on this one as well. It's on the channel. Just a search Coalition Gaming Raid Max Magnus. You'll find this one. It's a nice case. They called it a server case. Hell no. Just because it's a full tower doesn't mean it's a server case. This is very, very conducive to water cooling. It even comes with a pump reservoir bracket for you to mount to. It'd be in this part of the case right here. Yeah, it's a big one. But it's nice, actually. And I love the cable management in the back. I'll show you guys that in a second. Fan one, no. CPU fan. CPU fan, I believe. Yeah, that's the CPU fan. Yeah, CPU power. Definitely a chonk. I mean, imagine water cooling in this thing. That'd be awesome. All the space. All the space. Right. Okay, all that's in. Let's get the graphics card in. The piece de resistance. Not a fan of water cooling, but I see the benefits. I wanted to go with an air cooler, but my CPU just runs so hot. Yeah, I mean, an air cooler like this is freaking amazing. Um, I did custom water cooling in mine, but I wanted to just do it as a project for me personally to get into custom water cooling, and it's awesome. But if I'm gonna build again, I probably won't do custom water cooling. If I do a build from scratch, that's for me. I more than likely will go with the 3D printed custom fan ducting config and see how that works out. But I'm happy that I've been there. I know how to do the work on it. I'm a big fan of the bigger outer diameter soft tubing. You do the if you run it right, it looks good. People complain about soft tubing. Go with the bigger tube, not the smaller tube, and know and plan your route properly in it, and it will look awesome. Wanted to use my Amazon Prime sub, but Twitch isn't giving me the option. Dang it! I appreciate it either way. Thank you for thinking of me and using the sub and all that, but sorry you have to deal with ads now. Oh, I didn't do the front panel connectors. Let's do that real quick. Soft tubes are for losers. Who is this guy? Jay's 2 cents? Jeez. But yeah, soft tubing makes maintenance on it so much easier. I love it. Okay, let's get down here. Is that a USB? What is that? It is a USB. Man, if I do water cooling, I'm going to inflict the most self harm I can and use copper. You're brave. You are braver than I. Front panel connectors. Let's get you guys going. Power switch. Now all you guys get to see is my head. You know what? Let's go to the big camera. Do, 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 do. Oh no, this motherboard doesn't list. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, power LED is top left. Reset switch, bottom right. Raise your hand if you like doing the front panel connectors. Power switch. Up above. Okay. Have power LED. Right. All right. That wasn't too painful. That's done. Now I can put the GPU back. I like them if they are in one of the nice little blocks instead of individual connectors. Yes. Wholeheartedly agree. Nope. Nope. Something's wrong. This sits lower. MD has a question for Keith. That was kind of worrisome. It inserted so cleanly into the PCI Express slot that I didn't even hear it going. Yes, exactly, Elite Ranger. RIP EVGA. You will be missed, but you will be enjoyed in this build. Mm, oh boy. Dang it. There's a plate in the bottom. There's an open spot and a plate in the bottom. Oh, it's gonna bother me. You guys see it where my hand is right now? Ah, I know I have extra IO plates, but I don't want to go dig into my boxes for it. Hope everybody bought some quality back to their lower tier PSUs. They weren't good at all. And their higher tier PSUs always seem to be decent though. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Even the lower tier ones were not bad though, because I used to buy EVGA. Was it 600-watt whites when I do budget builds all the time? Never had a problem. But the Thermaltake Smarts that were of the similar class and similar price and all that, uh, I had like two of those fail. They came back to me with a bad power supply after months, and the EVGAs never came back to me. Okay, all right, let's pull it up and look at the SSD situation in the back. My mount's coming loose. I got to look at that. Must have been a bad batch. I had three fail in as many months. Released all the magic smoke. Dang. Yeah. Well, then maybe what you're to your point. Then maybe they dropped the quality for a little while. But when I was doing that, it was 2018, 2019. This is a hybrid drive, a 1 terabyte Seagate SSHD. So it's a hard drive with, I believe, an 8 gigabyte SSD section, or just a really big cache, essentially. This was 2022, right before they sold it. Yep, sounds about right then. So what do we think? Ditch the 128 gig SSD and put a 500 in here. It already has a 500 gig, well, NVMe, two of them. So it has 1 terabyte total of NVMe SSD. I'll put a hard drive over another SSD. I mean, keep the terabyte hard drive. He's just playing games on it. He doesn't do anything on it. And I don't. My concern is that I don't want him accidentally installing games to the hard drive, and then wondering why the games run bad, or blaming the computer for other issues related to stuff like that being on the hard drive. That's kind of my concern here. I'm trying to make it as ease of use for a 14-year old. That's true. I would call that drive data. Sure, yeah, exactly. Instead of data and games, because the 500 gig SSD is the boot drive, another 500 gig is in there, and I call that storage in games. And then maybe I just call this one storage. He's gonna do it anyways. All right, so this is cool though. Look at this. He's gonna go from Micron 128 to Micron 512. We'll save you a phone call. Exactly. You understand. Could tell them it's for music only. Yeah, but I mean, like some people, they just don't pay attention to where they're installing stuff, and then kaboom, it's on a hard drive. That's what I'm worried about. Or all the spreadsheets. Oh yes, yes. He loves spreadsheets. I'm sure of it. He has Game Pass, so he's always like downloading games and throwing them on Game Pass. And I don't know where Game Pass is going to default to, or Windows. That is a Microsoft thing, so it's going to like pick a best location based on probably free space and stuff like that. Like I'd rather all that be on SSD if possible. I think it's the best case scenario. Again, he's only really playing games on it. The computer is at my brother's house or my parents' house, and he's only there on the weekends, every other weekends and something too. So he's not doing any homework on it. He's not doing work on it at all. He's just playing games. One 400 gig that doesn't love a good. Who doesn't love a 14-year-old doesn't love a good spreadsheet? Arc. How big is Arc really? He's gonna put Call of Duty on this thing, and that's gonna suck. But it is what it is. Just plug in, please. Oh boy. Did I misalign it? Arc, if you get the free DLCs, 364 gigs. Yikes. Yikers. Yikerson. I did align this in properly. Dang it. I picked the wrong screw holes. So the SATA connector won't reach over the, the plastic trimming. So we do this again. At least it's not a fan, right, Ryu? Pick the holes where the connector hangs off the back of the thingy thing. Duh. Dee dee dee. What? I don't know if anyone here is old enough to remember this, but if you used to have to load programs directly from a disk into computer memory, it made playing some games kind of weird. Like people, when they would do whole systems running off of RAM disk, You lose it as soon as you turn your computer off, but hey, you're gonna get the best performance if you got a lot of RAM and you can just load it straight in. Bypass the hard drive completely. I was doing. I never did RAM disk, but I did hard drives in RAID 0, and then eventually I even did Western Digital 10,000 RPM Raptor hard drives, which are even better for speed and gaming and stuff like that and load times. And I did those in RAID 0, and never ever like the risks of a 10,000 RPM drive rate failure rate is higher, and then putting them in RAID 0 failure rate is even higher. Eventually, they failed on me, but it didn't fail on anyone else that I ever knew that set it up as well. I paid for it. Same here, living dangerously on RAID 0, right? Oh, plug in the Serial T over here to the motherboard. Well, at the time, 256 megabytes was big on system memory. Same here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're going further back than I've really delved into. First machine for me was a Pentium MMX 233 megahertz with 64 megabytes of SD RAM. I think it was PC 133, and it had S3D Verge graphics card. I played around eventually with an S3 graphics, sorry, S3 Savage graphics card. Yeah, that's where I started. And then it was a K62 AMD K62 500 machine, and the graphics card in that was built in. But when I needed an upgrade, eventually I went to a PCI GeForce 4 MX 420 GPU. All right, everything's plugged in. Let's put the glass on the back. I don't think I'm going to be booting it up over here. I have my test bench down there. Maybe I'll set it up there just to turn it on and show you guys it works. When I say test bench is down there, well, what I mean by test bench is that my KVM with everything is already down there. I sometimes will bring stuff up here, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Come this is just happening. Oh, the rubber grommet fell off the bottom. Interesting that it's glass in that side, knowing that's where we hide the spider, right? But it was a design choice they made. Really telling on my age now, but my first comp was a Tandy. Oh, nice. Intel 80286, rocked 8 megahertz and ran on MS-DOS 3.2. I remember playing around, the earliest version of Windows was 3.1 that I played around with. But yeah, that means you're just a little bit older. I'm 38. I did get into tech pretty early for a person my age, I guess. So yeah, I've been there. ISA, VESA, AGP, the early days, man. But there's a lot that I missed still, and I love learning about it and hearing about it and all of that. For Altair systems and stuff, yeah. Tonic in both chats. Yeah, right. You're 52. Get out of here. Finally got around to using the Fine AM8 microphone, and damn, it's as good as a QT, but it looks better. There you go. There you go. It's solid. Okay, let's make some space real quick because I have to clear some space to get down to the table. And I'll show you guys the boot up and how it looks all lit up and everything. You can come up here. Let's clean off this CPU so we don't accidentally touch it and get stuff, get it all over some things. Hello, beautiful. Oh, be right back. Yeah, I feel you, Kryptonic. Same thing. I haven't built all new in a while, other than the ones I guess you could say I built for other people. But like for myself, my computer was the last all new computer I did. Oh, focus. Hello, this is my face camera. Hello, I'm 52. I was the first person in my dorm to set up a room to room internet connection. Nice. We just had two computers and two modems. Did you do the no modem cable trick for that? Is that what that required? That's what 37X, 32 gig, 3060 Ti. Even that took a while to accomplish. Yep. Yes, exactly. The PCs of Theseus is that's the way we go now. Again, for those who didn't see it earlier, the 3D printed test bench. So I'm setting that up here for now. Just kept recording. Yep, yep, yep. Neat. Yeah, it's nice. I'm probably gonna mounting this to this as a way to just put it away, or find a motherboard or a bag box for it or something. That's sick. Yeah, it saves so much space. Is why I like it so much. Just plugged into the dorm room phone outlet in both rooms and dialed in from one comp to each other. Dude, that's even better. Awesome. Yeah, the earliest memories I have of anything like that has to do with people playing Warcraft, the original Warcraft, against each other, and they needed a no modem cable to connect their computers in the same room to play with each other. Okay, I'll bring you guys over around to me. I think that should work. To engineer everything. Hey, I resemble those remarks. Right now, my next project is putting an old PC with Windows 10 to make it a game server and use it to store PS2 ISOs. Hey, that'd be cool. You should check out Steam Cache as well. Make it a storage and a Steam Cache. Right now, man, because running games over USB 1.0 and speed was a pain. Yeah. What's your transfer rate? 1.1? 480? I think it was 480 megabits per second. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay. Let me check the power supply switches on. Drum roll. Hey, there it is. So not having parts. Wish me luck here. I'm gonna change it over on the KVM. It should not stop the stream because I'm streaming off that NUC that's right there. You see in the image, well, in the stream right now. So let's hit the button and switch over, and hopefully the stream stays alive. 1.5 megabyte. Potentially by 2060, 60 gigs of RAM and 13X from 50. But I'm like, is that even worth the time to flip? That's a tough one. We alive still, friends? I am seeing that we are. It looks like we're good right now. Yeah. The truth about that though, Cortonic, is add $100 to that price, and you can probably flip it pretty easily because it still outperforms the cheapest of pre-builts at like a Best Buy or something. But is it worth the hassle? Unsure. RAM for 150 valuation trade for monitor for it. Okay. Still waiting for video feed. I know it's booted because I have keyboard and mouse. I think the issue is that I changed the GPU that was in it. It's it's struggling with that. When I first booted the system up with a different GPU, it also gave me black screen issues until I got the driver properly loaded. Lots of parts, but old mining rig stuff. Best I could hope for would be a Plex server. Could make like 5 of them though. I mean, that could be cool. 660 kilobits per second. Dang. Nation JJ. I feel like YouTube can do better. I have to go to your channel to see if you uploaded it, and I never get your vids in my sub feed. You're not the first person to tell me that either. There's so much better than 12 that I can do over Ethernet. Yes, Ethernet. That's the speeds. Buddy. So I switched it back to the NUC that's right there. So let's switch back and see if maybe it does something through the KVM right now. I didn't realize the Mark II version was just the attached USB-C cable. I get it, but damn, that's it. Yeah, pretty much. Better stand too. YouTube pushes certain creators over others. It's scummy. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by the stream and saying hi and voicing that stuff though. But yeah, you're not the only one that has told me that. Also, when I switch over to it, I hear the noises. It's making noises, so I know that it's booted in the OS. So maybe if I restart it, does that have onboard graphics? No. The nice. You like the Johnsbow build? Thank you. Appreciate it. Use Mark as a grip on me then. Can't overlooked. Use Vaquero's back. Hell yeah! Right here at the end. About a standing desk for around $100 on Amazon. While I know for sure I can get it for $4 on offer, which needed to be new for my sake and delivery. Yeah. Hey, we have it. We have it. It booted. It got the driver, and it is up on screen now. We have a successful PC rebuild, everybody. Oh, I had already posted. I just knew it was sitting in Windows because I could hear the noises when I switched to the KVM. Yes, we love to see it. We love to see it. Just getting into smaller builds for travel. Ooh. You can still go smaller, but it gets infinitely more difficult and expensive. Well, not infinitely more expensive, but it does get more expensive the smaller you go with stuff like that. RGB going hard. It's nice and simple RGB. The motherboard has some built into it, but it's just like one strip and a fan. We didn't go crazy with RGB on this build, just enough like give it some color. But we've done it, so we can reset now. So give me 1 second. Mini ITX builds, but they're so pricey, so hard to configure and keep pretty. Yeah, I like. That's why I like the Johnsbow size builds or the Lanley TU 150 size builds. Get a handle. It's portable. It's not too big. And while it can be smaller, it's still pretty awesome. There we are. Nothing to really build, but some Intel NUCs are great for travel. That too. And that's what I'm using here. And I also have I've also got this guy I got on eBay for a good price. Check that out. 8th gen, 6 core, 32 gigs of RAM. So I have I was given an idea for that one by Weezenator, Wayne, who I run the channel with. He said, find a way to build that into a casing that has a screen on it that makes it look like a retro computer. And you just insert the computer into it. like the computer installs into the enclosure essentially, and I'm essentially building an all-in-one, but it looks like it's modeled after a CRT screen, but widescreen. Well, that's only because that's mostly the only kind of monitor we can get. So then it becomes all in one thing. You can carry it around like this. It already has the screen and the monitor and the computer, all that together. But it uses one of those. And I have a 3D printer, so there's a good chance that we can find a way to figure that out maybe. Love fish tank cases like some of the high cases, but damn, did it take up a lot of space. Yeah, I got mine over there. Um, Let me see. I'll point it at it. Redefining all the things. Nice. Redefining the old beige box. Yeah, essentially that. Max earlier tried swapping off my gaming laptop with a 4900HX and a 4070, but the gaming desktop delivered the same experience without secondary monitor, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi. Yeah, something to think about. And we're back over here. Now, this microphone, for those of you that were watching earlier, uh, I don't run noise suppression on this one. This is a dynamic, so the need for it is less. But you can hear me clap and other noises like that. But I have this tuned as good as I can, and I think it sounds really good for what it is. Laptop gaming has absolutely improved very well. Yeah. All right, we are good there. Let me switch back. We'll do this. He is has agent still not online, but potato ratio is, so we'll raid potato. Check something. The other screen, dang it. Is has agent jumping on here anytime shortly? You answer if he is. So, man, I'm getting into smaller builds for travel. Right on. Any other tech questions you guys wanted to talk about before we officially call it? Computer's been swapped over. It's booted up. We're good. I'll do the final tuning off stream. But rebuild successful, right? Love it. You love to see it. Right on. Have you used the app called Smart Connect made by Motorola? I haven't, but I have seen it. I swapped off of my Wave 3 microphone to pick up so much background noise. You got to throw NVIDIA noise suppression on it. Congrats on the boot up. Always feels great. That it does. It does. Your volume mic is a little lower on this one. I also probably need to talk into it better. Oh no. Yeah, Elite Ranger. Hmm. Well, the other one I had also cranked up pretty high, so it can hear me from more of a distance. So this one is, I don't know. I guess I could turn it up more, add some gain, because right now I see me talking and it's not even getting into the yellow. It's not getting tall, but it also leaves a lot of room in case I suddenly get loud, because then that gets into the yellow. It's available for all Android devices now. It's my favorite app ever. It allows you to use your phone as a webcam on PC. Really? And with tablets. I use my tablet 7 to use as a third monitor. You make a video on that. Cryptonic, you have to do a video on that for your YouTube channel. Your grand return. Do that. Why haven't you? Why haven't you? Okay, so we're going to be rating somebody over on Twitch's side of things. This is a viewer of the homie Has Agents. More than likely, she will end up rating Has. Yeah, that does sound awesome. Cryptonic, you got to do it. So maybe you guys will tune in to watch a little bit of Has later. But for now, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. It was a successful PC rebuild. We have some stuff in the works, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and follow over on Twitch if you haven't already. Yeah, so let's go ahead and send this raid. Oh, dang it. I should probably type it correctly. It was great talking with you all. Invalid username. Dang it. What the heck? Invalid user. Oh. I can't spell potato right now. There we go. It was great again hanging out with you all. This is the person that we're rating. That person right there. Nation, Elite Ranger, Engineer Everything, Keith. Scrolling on up here, Rec. Adam stopped in for a little bit. Flying High stopped in. Cecil. Over on Twitch side of things, we had a sub from Festizio. Oh, wow. Lone Vaquero played a couple of redeems that I missed. I'll have to make that up to you guys later on. I don't know why some of those redeems weren't working. Some did. Keith, thank you for the follow as well. And Fest with the Prime sub. Let's see. Yeah. Also, Than, thank you for the follow. That was from yesterday. Balsonic. Potato. Exactly. Did I miss anybody? Than, Kryptonic, Keith, Balsonic, Ghetto. Yeah, right on. Thank you all for hanging out, and I'll catch you all in the next video or in the next stream. Peace out for now. Bye.